David with Liguori Drag Racing, and in this video I'm going to go over setting zero time, checking rollout, checking reaction time consistency, calculating all incrementals without a time slip, and going over wheel slip percentage based off of Excel speed and Excel distance. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my zero time. And we have our Excel distance channel pulled up, and we use that, and we set that at 1 foot. And the reason we set that at 1 foot is because the starting line stage beam should be around 11.5 inches. And we're going to round up to 1 foot. And we're going to see that the release of our two-step is here, but at 1 foot, this is where we break the stage beams. So let's check our quarter mile time, and let's go to 1,320 feet. So we're at 1320.4. We had a time slip that showed 769 with a 0 at 167.1 miles per hour. Our time on the log shows a 772 with a 1, and our Excel speed shows a 168 with a 3 on our mile per hour. And we can go through and we can look over our 8th mile. So we can set this at 660 feet. We can check our Excel speed here, 142.7, 142.3. 485 with a 7, 485 with a 5, and so forth. So Excel distance, we're not using a wheel counter to check distance or anything like that. This is simply acceleration speed and acceleration distance. So it's not going to be 100% accurate, but it's going to be damn close. So we set our zero time. And I have the zero time set to 1 foot on all of these logs. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to check to see where my two-step released at. So on this log, two-step released negative 0.238 seconds before I reached 1 foot of time, one foot of distance. I'm going to do the same thing here, and we're roughly 0.246. Same thing here, 0.245, and we'll do the same here, 0.233. So you can see that this log, 0.233, is quicker than these logs here. So technically, your reaction time should have been roughly 10 thousandths quicker on this pass. Why was it 10 thousandths quicker? Was it because we had a hotter tune in it? Probably on this pass, because we went a 113.60 foot here. And on these passes, we're going 119, 118, 116. So it could have been our hotter tune. What else it could have been is when you're diagnosing why the vehicle has a different reaction time or inconsistencies with reaction time, you can blame the rider, you can blame a tire, you can blame the clutch, you can blame your two-step. So these are things to look at, and these are things to work on. Is my clutch slipping too much at the hit? It's when it's not grabbing. Is my sidewall in the tire going away? Is my two-step super inconsistent, which is causing the bike to leave inconsistent, and so forth. Now with our rollout time, so we can see we're at, on this log, 0.233, 0.232. and we have a dead time. So the dead time is the bike squatting, the bike wrinkling the tire, the vehicle wrinkling the tire, and it not going anywhere for a certain amount of time. I found it roughly to be 200ths on my bike, so roughly 200ths of a second. And the way that I did that, I don't know if it's correct or not, but the way that I do that is I opened up the practice tree in the Fuel Tech, and I have my delay box set to where I'm 00 if I let go good, and I set my rollout to 0.210, and I'm fairly good there with my delay and reaction times, things like that. I'm roughly a 00 to a low teen. So if I can do that with my practice tree, and I can do this on the log, I know that I'm roughly 200ths of a second difference with my dead time. Calculating the incrementals without having a time slip, maybe you're in Mexico running, you're racing in Mexico, or you're on a no prep race without any time slips, you're on a back of the track race, and so forth. You can look at your Excel distance, set it at 1 foot after the release of the two-step or trans brake, and you can go in and set your incremental times. So at 60 foot, we can see where we are, and 330, 660, and so forth. So we can see roughly where we're at. Wheel slip percentage. So I'm going to come to this log here. I got a good drive shaft with a lot of spin on it, a lot of wheel speed. And I'm going to pull up Excel speed here. So this is our acceleration speed. This is our reference speed. We don't have a front wheel sensor on this bike, and a front wheel sensor isn't going to work on this bike, on a wheelie bar bike, because we carry the wheel for 100 foot or more. So having the wheel in the air, it's going to think that the back tire is slipping a lot. So Excel speed and wheel speed traction is based off of drive shaft. So we can open up our map, and we can go to drive shaft. We can enter our number of teeth, 32, enter our sprocket ratio, enter tire size, and it will output a wheel speed traction. And we can look at our wheel slip percentage. So our wheel slip percentage is at a high of like 226, 227, so forth. So we can see that we're spinning a lot. We can use this for active traction control to pull timing. We can cut ignition. We can do certain things to limit the amount of wheel speed that we have. And we can see down here we're 0% slip, 1% slip. So that's how we can use the acceleration speed for calculating how much slip we have. I hope this video helps you think of the finer details of your setup. I hope that it helps you look at things closer. I've heard rumors about Fuel Tech delay box and this and that and everything like that. Well, somebody else get on the bike and they're fine. So the inconsistencies can be you. The inconsistencies can be in your bike. You could just be letting off wrong. Maybe you need to change your button. Maybe you need to change the way that you're holding the button. Maybe you need to change your setup. Maybe you got a tire going away that's causing inconsistent reaction times. Maybe your bike is the problem and you didn't even know it. So look at your Excel distance based on your reaction or your two-step release. Look at all these incrementals. Look at all the information that I gave you today. Study it. Look it over. And look to see if your bike is consistent. If your bike is inconsistent, try to fix it.